Welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara. This is Barbara Talks. I will be talking about the dark side of all the signs today, but just because you have this sign, I know people are attached to the sign that they have doesn't mean that this is going to be you. It's a plane of duality at the end of the day. It's just how the sign can express itself when it's in the dark version of itself or the shadow of the energy. And plus, in a natal chart, there's so many things to look at, so sometimes the energy might not be expressed in this way. You guys can see what signs you guys resonate with most in your chart. Sometimes people have a dominant energy. Some people are sometimes, let's say, Scorpio dominant, or some people are sometimes, let's say, Aries dominant, or Libra dominant. You know what I mean? So it can be sun, moon, rising, but it's like you do still have a dominant energy at the end of the day, so that's probably what's going to resonate with you most. Let's go ahead and jump into it. The dark side of Cancer. Okay, they can be really intense, okay? So a lot of, very manipulative people, or just like, people who might end up in the news. And again, if you have these signs, it doesn't mean it's going to be you. It's just like this is the dark side of the Cancerian energy. First of all, they can be about the home or about the family. So there's like always a huge connection to the home and the family, specifically the mother. So there could be something always going on with the mother overall, where it could be preventing them from doing whatever it is that they want to do. Like it can be like almost like an emotionally incestuous relationship for Cancer and the mother as well, to the point where it's like they really need to learn to cut cords. There's something always going on with the mother to the point where it's like you could interfere with other aspects of your life. So that's Cancer. Cancer can also be very manipulative. They can be very emotionally manipulative as well. They can be very passive aggressive, like the dark side of Cancer. With Cancer, I find that they tend to sometimes suppress emotions and then explode, and then when they explode because they never addressed anything, it's like tears. Okay, it's a lot of crying. But the Cancer energy is fall because it's a lot of suppression, right? So Cancer is going to have to learn how to actually express, how to actually get everything out, because that's also why they become like passive aggressive or snide, is because they're not actually expressing how they're feeling. Then because of that, it all gets like very deep down inside, and then it's like this whole explosion. It's kind of like if you had just addressed it, or at least wrote it down. If you feel like you can't communicate to the other people around you, at least it's out of your system, So that's what happens with that Cancerian energy. They can also be like nurturing, but like in the shadow sense. The thing is, what's important to understand is sometimes people, all of us, right? We treat people in a way unconsciously because we want them to treat us that way. So sometimes the Cancer energy, they can kind of be like nurturing to everybody because they're trying to get that energy in return a lot of the time without realizing. And it's like, they might not fill their own cup first, right? So there's that whole aspect of Cancer as well, where it's like, again, they're like overly nurturing. They're not actually nurturing themselves. And it's like the Cancer energy, like when it's in the shadow, is like, it's very mothering. Do you know what I mean? That's what Cancer really does represent. It can really go into the shadow, right? Of just like that overbearing parent, or like really mothering people, where it's like not allowing people to be their own person, kind of like, when a parent is kind of like, obviously they have your best interest at heart, but sometimes they're going to be like, oh, did you remember to do this? Did you remember to do that? And it's like the other person is like in a relationship, especially if you look at it as a relationship, like you're not in a relationship. It's almost like this person is parenting you. Cancer can know how to emotionally manipulate, essentially is what that is. Like they can really go into the energy of pretending, even like to connect with the other person, because they know emotions, they understand emotions, but it's like for their own reason and for their own purposes. Exactly. You said Cancers are sweethearts, but you don't mess with them. Exactly. You don't want to mess with them, because when Cancer actually does turn on like the rage, they turn it into like the protective mama bear energy. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen any mother animal that's like with the babies, like they're very protective of the babies.